walk the earth.
There are no typical murderers. Some plan their crimes meticulously, while others kill on impulse.
Well, what's going on, everybody? It's Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA here with you. We got a special guest today. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, Team MMA for Life. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe down below. Make sure you catch us on Twitter at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. Check our podcast out on iTunes. And we got a special guest for you guys today, coming off a first round knockout. We got Tyler Rose here. How's it going, Tyler?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. How was your day so far, man?
It's going. Still got the day job.
Yeah, a bunch of my friends, including Clayton, my dad's buddy Vinny Penn, who works over at Radio 960, they all went over to see you fight over at Mohegan Sun last week, and you did a great job, man. First round, which you won by rear naked choke.
Yep.
Nice. So, can you just introduce yourself to everyone that's watching?
Hi, everyone. I'm Tyler Rose. I'm 23 years old from North Branford, Connecticut. I'm 2-2 as a professional fighter, and I just beat Montoya Swelling in the first round.
And where can everyone find you on social media?
Right now, just on Facebook as Tyler Rose. I'm the guy with the MMA pictures up, so.
Yeah, dude, you got some really, really awesome photos up there, man. So when did you come into MMA? I saw that, I was looking through some of your pictures, and I saw Andrew in there, who's a Bellator fighter. Or he's fought in Bellator before, right?
Yeah.
And
Actually, when I first started, I was probably just turned 17, and I was sick of my older brother beating me up, so I looked up MMA gyms. And, Andrew's gym seemed like it had the best pros around. It had him, Blair Tugman, Nick Newell, at the time, Damian Vitale. Yeah, so signed up and been there for almost 7 years now.
wow. Yeah, I actually saw that they had, for anyone local that's watching especially, you can look up that gym at, what is it, Ultimate MMA?
UltimateMMACT.com.
And I'm pretty sure they're doing like a 30-day free trial that you can go there and
Yep, I think the first month's free, and you go talk to either Andrew Calandrelli or Marissa. She'll be at the front desk.
Yeah, last time I actually called there, she always picks up the phone. So I saw that you have a lot of belts. So not only are you part of reality fighting, but you also fought in other competitions in the past.
Yeah, I fought for Premier as an amateur, where I won the welterweight title and defended it once. I think I was the first one to win an amateur tournament at welterweight in Massachusetts.
Wow.
And then I've done some grappling tournaments for Naga, which is affiliated with Reality Fighting, and I won a couple of those.
And you guys can all see those pictures on his Facebook with the belt and everything. Who's been like one of your biggest inspirations growing up?
It's hard to say. Starting out, I followed a lot of GSP fighting, and I've always been a fan of all the 80s fighting movies, like anything with Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Bloodsport.
Yeah, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Rocky.
And they're actually making a new Kickboxer remake movie with Paige Vanzant. I saw probably going to be straight to DVD, but still pretty cool. And I was actually looking through some of your pictures as well, and I saw some pictures of you pole vaulting as well. Were you part of like track and field or something in high school?
Yeah, in high school, actually, I was really into track. I did shot put, javelin, discus, and pole vaulting. And I was trying to go D1, D2 for pole vault, but Yeah, one thing led to another. I had a broken hand, had to have surgery, and then after that, I found MMA and stuck with that instead.
Did you do high school wrestling too?
No, North Branford doesn't have a wrestling team,
Oh,
so
really?
yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember I used to play against you guys in football back in the day,
Okay.
way back in the day. So where did you go from high school? Like once you graduated, you found yourself. You did track and field, you said. So what was like the moment when you were like, I want to be a fighter?
Um, well, when I was about, see, I was 17, I did a grappling tournament, and I got, I think, second place my first tournament.
Wow.
And then, one thing led to another. When I was 18, I started looking for an MMA fight or a kickboxing fight. I couldn't get on one until I was 19. And then I had three back to back with Premier FC and a few amateur boxing matches in between. And then when I turned 20, I had my first pro MMA fight against Dave Porter for Reality. Now,
And right now, like everyone watching, I know you can't see it, but I'm showing all pictures of some of your earlier matchups as well. What was it like in your first pro fight?
it was a little, it was kind of weird. I was 20 at the time. I was fighting I think he was 30 years old and a Marine. So it was a
Wow.
little intimidating. But, once you're in the cage, it's just like training. Once you get control of the nerves and stuff, you just react.
So what did you say your record was?
2-2 as a pro, 4-0 as an amateur.
That's awesome, man. And what was it like fighting at the casino for your first time? That's got to be like awesome.
Yeah, that was nuts. I remember Andrew Calandrelli going up to me right after the fight, asking, "What were you doing? What you just kept looking around the whole time during the fight?" I was like starstruck. I see Kevin McDonald's my ref, and I'm like, I've seen him on TV.
Man, that's
I still get
awesome.
that way.
You're living the dream, and you got a lot going for you, man. Like what can we expect from you in the next year?
Well, I'd like to get on a bigger show like Bellator or something, but I'm not in a rush. I mean, I fought Eric Spicely. I think I fought him a little early when he was down at 170, and now he's on the Ultimate Fighter at 205, and he's undefeated still. So
Wow.
I don't want to take any stupid matchups, but I would like, test the waters with the bigger shows.
Would you ever sign up for the Ultimate Fighter?
Actually, after my last fight, my coach said next time they're doing the welterweight division, I got to sign up. So
That would be totally awesome. Honestly, have you been watching this season at all?
mainly just Spicely, just because I lost via injury to him, and I
Yeah.
was 2 weight classes up. And I felt like that round. I mean, I went 4.5 minutes with a torn pec, so
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna
every
jump.
time.
I'm gonna jump to one of the fan questions because it's totally related to this. Who do you have in their fight? Joanna or Claudia?
Uh, I think I'd say Claudia.
Yeah. Why do
I
you?
think she's just tougher.
And this is the rematch in case you guys are watching and you don't know who Claudia or Joanna is. Make sure you guys check out our other videos. We have Angie Jabs giving everybody updates every week. Wednesday is the Ultimate Fighter. And also check out our podcast on iTunes. We do it every Monday. So whether you're waking up in the morning, you need a Monday article, ProWrestlingAuthority.com. You can find all our articles. And Tyler, where do you see yourself in about 5 years? That's another one of the fan questions.
I'll probably still be fighting. Hopefully, a belt with some promotion. I don't really care which. I got 4 belts. I'd like to have at least 5 or 6. So we'll see.
How many belts have you won? You said you had Naga. Did you say Premier as well?
Yep, I have 2 from Premier and then 2 from Naga right now.
And as far as your training goes, can you give us a background on like what a day in the life of like how does your day start out? And can you just bring everybody through a day in Tyler Rose?
When I'm in a training camp for a fight, normally I'll wake up at 6, get my work done at my family farm first for an hour. Then I go to
That
Boxing and Faith in Fairhaven.
That's right. North Branford is definitely known for the farmland. I'm actually
Yeah.
related to the Augers. You know the Augers?
Yep. Yep.
That's part of my family. That's my grandmother's side of the family. So
Okay.
there's the Augers, there's the Duties in North Branford. So did
Yeah.
you work on the farm when you were a kid?
Oh, I've been working here since I was, I don't know, since I could walk. I'm sitting in the
Really?
office right now here.
That's definitely a little fun fact. So after you wake up and you do that, what's next for you?
Well, I go to Boxing and Faith in Fairhaven, and I do pad work with Luis Rosa. Normally I do that like probably 8 rounds or so of pads with, maybe 5 rounds to warm up, 8 rounds of pads. And then come home, rest, let's see, work all day, then go back to training at Andrew Calandrelli's gym at 6 till 9 o'clock.
Oh wow.
And at Andrew's, normally I work with either jujitsu first or striking or, something MMA related.
What's Andrew been up to? Is he good? Does he have any upcoming fights?
Well, he's just recovering from a torn bicep tendon, so I know he's looking to do the Pan Am grappling tournaments in the fall, but I'm not really sure what exactly he's planning as far as MMA.
That's awesome. So, man, I have another fan question. Who's your favorite fighter to watch right now? Like, who's your biggest inspiration or somebody that you'd say that you enjoy watching?
Well, because I'm a welterweight, I like to follow that division probably the most.
So,
And
Robbie Lawler,
yeah, I just saw him do an interview talking about Conor McGregor.
that
That's
he's going to take
nuts.
his soul.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's scary. And I love the
Just
way
the
that
way he said it.
the way he talks too, especially he like talks and he moves his lips around a lot. Like, and it's
Yeah,
just, dude,
that's a tough
and
dude.
talk about a comeback. A couple years ago, would you've ever thought he would be the champion right now?
No, I remember when he was offered the title fight, I was thinking, oh, he's done. He's just some guy they're putting in to beat. But yeah, he's a tough guy.
And last year he won Fight of the Year with Rory McDonald, and that was an absolute war. That was a
Yeah,
dogfight right there. And then also again, he has definitely my vote for one of the best fights this year with Carlos Condit.
yeah, definitely. That
And
was a
now
good
he's
fight.
got the upcoming fight with Tyrone Woodley.
Yeah, I
So
would like to see Tyrone Woodley and him fight. I know my coach has been saying for years he's the next big thing. He saw him back when he was fighting in New Jersey a couple times.
really, when he was wrestling.
I think it was one of his first MMA fights. He was
Oh,
saying he met him at.
yeah, Andrew's been around for a while now. What's your background in jujitsu? When did you start training jujitsu?
Back when I started in, let's see, when was that? The fall of 2009, I started doing jujitsu. So about 7 years. Did have to take a couple months off when I tore my pec against Spice Lee, so I took 6 months off. But other than that, I've been training steady.
And do you know anybody that we should all keep our eye on for upcoming local fighters around here in Connecticut? Because I really like to get some interviews with the local fighters, and because there's so much rich talent around here in this area between music and athletics, and honestly for MMA, it's stacked with talent. So I'd really like to get some interviews. Is there anyone on your mind that we can keep our eye out for?
Let's see, there's a million people, but from my gym, I could think of Nick Giletti. He fought at Mohegan May 28th. He lost because of a cut, but he's Division One wrestler and just a tough dude. Marissa Valencia, who just fought from my gym also, she's 2-0 as an amateur now. She's already got big names like Bellator looking at her.
Wow, really?
So
Yeah, I just did an interview with Monica Franco, and she's a young fighter from Hawaii that's coming up. And dude, MMA is such a younger sport that, and I was talking about in my interview with Ted Check that I did, that like when we were growing up, like with baseball, why is my favorite team the Yankees? Because growing up, I was like born into it. With MMA, like kids like us, we grew up with like WWF to get into it. Then we'd go to the store and we'd see WWF and then UFC 1. And we're like, what's that? rent that, and you see Hoist Gracie in there just choking dudes out. It's like, what is it's so new, and we're learning so much about it, and it's coming up quick, and the talent that's out there is crazy.
Yeah, even when I first started watching, I remember it was on Spike TV, and it was like everyone was just finding out about it.
Do you remember Bully Beatdown with Mayhem?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what happened to him. I used to love that dude, and he had that incident where he like locked himself in his house and was like live tweeting the event going on inside, and then I don't know. He's going off the
I don't know if he's
glitch
on
lately.
something or if he's just lost a few screws.
But man, he used to be another amazing fighter back in the day, and I once he did that interview with Ariel. Did you ever see his interview with Ariel where he jumps over the desk and they chase him down the street? He's like, he like won't break roll. Remember the movie Here Comes the Boom? He was part of that movie, and he was like an Irish guy in that movie, and he got thrown up on, and he wouldn't break character. And at one point in the interview, Ariel's like, "All right, Mayhem, like we've known each other for so long now, like just break roll and just talk to me about like what's going on." And then he starts destroying the set. Ariel's like, "What are you doing?" And from that moment on, it's just been like, "Whoa, what's going on with Mayhem? It's out of control." But like I was saying, it's such a young and upcoming sport that also it was just legalized in New York. That's a huge deal for us around here.
So see some fights at Madison Square Garden.
I'm totally loving the matchup with Chris Weidman right now. Local boy, him, John Bones, I would love to see over there. Or even Frankie Edgar. That's close enough to us. That would be an amazing fight. What's out of all the fights at UFC 200? What's your favorite fight looking forward to? Jose versus Frankie? Is it the Brock Lesnar fight? Is it the DC versus Bones?
I'm interested in the Frankie Edgar, Jose Aldo. I'm curious what Jose is gonna look like when he comes out.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Because when he fought Conor, he just didn't look like himself. So I want to see, is he back or is he done?
I mean, and also this was the big argument about, coming back. He wanted the rematch so bad, and everyone was like, no, he was champion for 10 years. Why aren't they giving him the automatic rematch? Because honestly, it's probably not the smartest thing after you get knocked out. You need time to recover. And do you think he had long enough to recover after that brutal KO? It's been about a year now.
Yeah, I think he's had plenty of time. I mean, after a knockout, personally, I've never been knocked out. I've just had like a TKO via injury. But I feel like even after a loss, you just need a couple months to get yourself right mentally. I think a year might even be too long. I've taken 2 years off of fighting because of an injury, and it's just you get the ring rust. You're not comfortable anymore, and mentally you're just not ready to fight.
So was it crazy for you to see Dominic Cruz come back in such a fashion and take the belt right back from TJ after being off for so long?
Yeah, I was very surprised at that, especially all the injuries he's had. I mean, I think he had a torn ACL and a few other things. But
yeah, and he came back and he got the belt right back from TJ.
Yeah.
So who's your next opponent? Do you have anyone that you'd like to fight coming up?
I haven't heard anything yet. I'm hoping, that I could get on, like if Bellator came to Mohegan or something again in September, or I know Reality's going back to Mohegan in January. Pretty much I'd like to stay in Connecticut because traveling before a fight's just a pain.
Yeah.
So whoever they offer me.
What's where exactly have you fought? Like have you only fought in Connecticut or?
I fought like my first 4 fights were all around Springfield, Mass. Like a couple were Holyoke, some were Agawam, and then I fought for CES in Rhode Island once. That one was just a nightmare.
So what is it like? Like once you get to the casino, do you stay there the night before, or you just go there that day?
Normally you go to weigh in the day before, and I'll just drive home. Sometimes they'll offer you a hotel, but I'd prefer to sleep in my own bed if it's not that long of a drive. Last thing I want is to be tossing and turning all night, uncomfortable.
And you know who your opponent is, obviously, But do you know these fighters that well? Where like you're like, oh, I'm fighting this guy. Do you go check that fighter out beforehand because to like see his
Uh,
older fights or anything like that?
it kind of depends. I used to watch, like, I would know everything about the person, like what they did that morning. I would know via social media and stuff. But lately, I've just been trying not to get in my own head, not overthink it. Just I'll watch a couple videos, know what they go for, and train accordingly.
What do you walk around at?
Um, After my chest surgery, I got up to around 200, but I'm trying to stay between 180 and 190, in shape.
What do you think about this new whole weight cutting thing? Did you watch UFC 199?
I only saw the highlights of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Dude, Bisping getting knocked out was just absolute. I mean,
Yeah,
Bisping knocking out Rockhold, it's like wow. But you know what they're doing with the new weight cutting and everything, right? Like
Yep.
you now have
Right.
the choice to either weigh in the morning or in the afternoon instead of having to weigh in a certain time, and you have to show up 8% of your contracted weight or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's like a week out or 10 days out or something. You have to be within about 10 pounds or so.
So, what's your thoughts on this? Do you like the new weight cutting or?
I personally I prefer it because a week out from a fight I'll be 175. So for a guy that walks around closer in weight, it's better. Like even the IV ban, I hear about all these fighters gaining 20 pounds, and it's like you get a guy that walks around at weight versus a guy that doesn't. You're gonna have a 20-pound weight difference the day of the fight, and it kind of goes against the point of having the weight classes.
Yeah,
So I think you're getting better matchups.
I do too, definitely. And we're seeing a lot of different like fighters that we're so used to getting these knock. We're seeing a lot of different performances by them, and I like the way that they're cutting down on a lot of it because kind of like even things out. But a lot of fighters don't like a lot of what they are doing. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I've heard from like the at Mohegan Sun, the commission there, and like a bunch of people. They've been talking about adding weight classes, I guess. So it'd be like 155, 165, 175, and on up, like by 10 pounds.
yep.
I think that would fix a few of the problems. Because right now, if you're either a big 155er that has to cut from 170, or you're a little 155 pounder that's walking around 160. So I think that would adding weight classes would help it a bit.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great idea. So, what what was your favorite sport in high school? Everyone wants to know. I just got a fan question. You said that you did pole vaulting, you did track and field.
Yep. I liked football, but because I'm a farmer, the fall normally meant I was doing most of my work. So
Yeah,
I would do the weightlifting with the football team and stuff, but didn't have time in the fall to play.
and it seems like you're a ladies' man too. I'm looking at a lot of these photos, and what are those ring girls in those photos, or do you have a girlfriend right now?
I've had a girlfriend actually since I started. It's almost 8 years coming
Uh
up,
oh, we just lost a
but
couple of viewers.
yeah,
Nah, I'm just playing. But
yeah,
so you said this.
been supportive.
So I just got a text saying they still want to know what it's like when you show up at the casino. Like once you get there, what's it like knowing that you have the fight that night?
I don't know. I just get there, try to get there early, get something to eat. Most of the time you're still thinking about I want to gain as much weight as I can, but still feel good. I'll try to just check into the hotel, watch a movie or something, just relax. It's always in the back of your mind that you're fighting, but you try to take your mind off of it. It
And when,
really doesn't even hit you till you get down into the locker room. Then you're like, all right, I'm fighting later.
and when you see the person that you're fighting at the weigh-ins, is it a serious moment, like personal, or are you usually like cool with the guy that you're fighting?
uh, it's different every fight. I've had like Montoya Swilling, who I just fought. He was actually probably the nicest guy I've ever met in MMA. Like he's giving me a hug right before we're fighting each other. So, but pretty much everyone's been pretty cool. Some guys try to stare you down, and you just try to stare right back at them, try to get in their head a little.
And what has been your favorite fight so far as a fighter?
My favorite one to be in?
Oh no, like your favorite fight that you've been in so far. Like one that you would like to be on your highlight reel.
Let's see. My first pro fight with Dave Porter, that was enjoyable because I kind of did a little bit more stand up. But I mean, they're all pretty similar. I've got 5 out of my 6 fights. I think 4 or 5 of them are first round submission. So.
And then you just won last weekend by rear naked choke too. So that's very impressive, man. I also saw that you have T-shirts. Everyone wants to know: is there an internet site? Where can we find merchandise?
Actually, those are pretty old. Those are from my first pro fight.
Those are pretty cool, though. I like those.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any of them in a couple of years now, so probably before my next fight, I'll have new T-shirts out. So I'll have them for sale.
All right, awesome. And is there no planned event yet for your next fight? You don't know who you're going to be fighting next, or?
Reality has just offered me. They said they could find someone for me for January 7th. So probably sometime then. I don't know anyone. Like, I don't know if anyone has anyone in mind, or there's nothing planned really.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today. And can you just let everyone know? I'm going to hand the mic over to you pretty much, the imaginary microphone. And you can just do your shout outs and let everyone know where they can find you. And the mic's all yours.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for helping me get this far in MMA. My friends, family, and of course my entourage, the group of guys that go to every one of my fights. My close friends, Steve, Cody, Rocco, Goldberg, Jesse, Trev, Dan, my girlfriend Rachel. I want to thank my coaches, Andrew Calandrelli and Blair Tugman, Luis Rosa. And anyone has any questions or wants tickets to my next fight, just hit me up on Facebook. Tyler Rose. Pretty simple to find me.
Why don't you have a Twitter, man?
I keep thinking about making one, but
everyone keeps asking me, like, where is he on Twitter? And I'm like, I don't. You got to look him up on Facebook.
I know if I get one, I'll be addicted. So I've been holding out.
And also, I just got one more tweet. They just want to know, what fight is going to be your favorite fight at UFC 200? I guess we didn't answer that.
I guess obviously I'm going to be interested in the Lesnar fight just because it's Brock Lesnar, but I think I'd have to say Frankie and Jose.
That's going to be your favorite fight?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I thought we did say that. Didn't we say that?
Yeah, we kind of said that.
I thought we went through that. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. And I hope to hear from you guys soon. Maybe I'll come down to the gym, and if I can get an interview with Andrew or somebody sometime on the show, just shoot me a text or whatever, and I'd love to hear back from you guys.
All right. Sounds good. You're welcome anytime.
All right. Have a good one, man.
You too.
So there was Tyler Rose. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys so much for the questions. That was totally awesome that you guys totally filled in with questions to ask him. Make sure you find him on his Facebook, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page right there, right at the bottom of this page. Make sure you subscribe. I really hope to hear from you guys soon. Find me on Twitter at evil_echo. And ask any question that you want. We always have it on the show. Every Monday is the podcast. Every Friday is the video show. This week, we were blessed to have Tyler on. Good luck, man. You got a bright future ahead of you. I'm Eddie V. You're out.